So let's have a look at some hammers. So first of all, the weight you want to get is about 2.2 to 2.5 pound or 1,000 grams to 1150 grams to begin with. That's plenty heavy and you'll be able to use it without getting tired if you're using it for a good period of time. The heavier hammers would be going up to 2.5 and 3 pound hammers. Those hammers are for heavier bars and heavier forging work. Now, the face of the hammer is probably the most important part. To make sure it has rounded corners here, which is called dressing the hammer all the way around, and that your surface then is nice and flat. Now, for heavy forging, you might want a slight curve on the face, because that acts like a fuller for stretching the metal out as we're hammering it. But again, rounded corners all the way around. So then the rounding hammer is another style of hammer. And the rounding hammer has the round face here, slightly rounded, and then it has the flat face on the opposite side. Now you'll notice the opposite side of the hammer then, this is called the peen. So this one is called a cross peen because it's going across perpendicular to the handle. And this one here is a straight peen going in line with the hammer. So this is a forged hammer as well. But once again, the hammer, it needs to be dressed. There still feels, this is a new hammer, let's say, and you can see the way there's still corners here that could be rounded more. We don't want the likes of that little dint coming in to our metal if we're hammering on the metal. Here's a hammer, a heavier one again. It's over 3 pound, which was kind of a small sledgehammer, and I actually cut off the two pieces here to make a peen on one side of it. It lightened it a bit as well, and the longer handle, heavier forging or hammering a tool, and so that's going into a heavier hammer. Here's a round peen hammer. So again, the face is nice and flat, well rounded all around, and the peen, you could take, if the peen is very rounded, maybe make it a little flatter, and but once again, it could be used at times when we're working. Here's another hammer. So if you were to buy a straightforward cheap hammer in the hardware, that can be used, why not? Plastic handle mightn't be great, but hopefully it won't be hitting the hot metal there. And the dressing of the hammer again is what's important. So you have all the corners all the way around again, so you'd round them very carefully. So you could have that one then with the flat face, and you could actually round the face here to make it a bit like the rounding hammer if you wanted to make a more of a round curve on the surface.